Hello, I'm Meryl Streep. The video you're about to watch should have never been uploaded to YouTube. It's disorganized, it's sloppy, it's bad. It doesn't rise to the mediocre standards we have tried to achieve on this YouTube channel. I have no excuse for why it's so poor, except to say that it was the last video I did of the day, I was tired, and I was punchy. However, that said, I still think you should watch this video. It depicts a badass recipe of a badass deviled egg, and you'll be the better for watching it in the end. I hope that you will do your best to get through a video of me doing my worst. Enjoy. Hey guys, welcome. I hope you're all doing great. Today we are going to work on one of my favorites, deviled eggs. Deviled eggs are very divisive. Some people like them, some people don't. I love them. If you don't like them, I get it. You can exit stage left, no worries. But if you like them, I have a treat for you. I'm gonna share with you my classic deviled eggs recipe with a small secret ingredient that's gonna make it even better than the ones you've probably had before. I appreciate you checking out this video. I think it's gonna be a great day in the appetizer world for you and me. This is gonna be something you can bring to potlucks, to Thanksgiving, to Christmas, to anything. Even if it's just a snack around your house on a weekend. Deviled eggs are always a great idea if there's something you like. So, wash those hands and let's get started making classic deviled eggs. Here are our players for our perfect deviled eggs. Now again, today I'm gonna make a classic deviled egg. So this doesn't go anywhere in the realm of like jalapeno added or anything really hot and spicy, anything like that. This is just gonna be the basics. So obviously you will need eggs. Today I'm making about a half a recipe because it's just us here. If I were doing this for a party, I'd do the full recipe, which is what's included down below in the description. But I'm using a little less than half of that today. I'm using 5 eggs. I have bacon crumbles and paprika. That's gonna be at the end. I'm kind of going backwards. So that's at the end when you wanna do your accenting. But then when we take out our yolks from the eggs, we're gonna mix that with 1 teaspoon of mayo, 1 teaspoon of regular mustard, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of pickle juice, and then we're gonna put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And all that's gonna come together to make our filling that we're gonna put back into our egg half. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I need the yolks, so we are going to take this, and I have a video of how to do hard-boiled eggs that I just put up, so check that out. It's in our Cooking 101 section. And I'm just gonna slice these in half. No rocket science here. And they should, oops, that one's just so eager to get started. He just jumps right out. He doesn't know what's coming. Put this here. Now, sometimes I've had people ask me about the discoloration around the edge of the yolk. This is perfectly fine. I don't know why it happens. I'm no scientist. I'm just a sad little cook in Houston, Texas. But I do know that it's fine, and I know that it happens sometimes, so don't sweat it, especially for deviled eggs. We're gonna mix it all up anyway. You'll never see it. It's gonna go back into the little half of the whites, so no problem there. But basically, we have our eggs here, so we're gonna take the yolks now and pop them into our bowl, trying really hard not to break the white. And of course, you can use a spoon if you need to kind of help that yolk come out. There we go. Usually they'll just kind of pop out. Like that one little guy, he just straight up committed suicide, but not a hard thing to get them out. Okay, so there are all of our yolks. We've got those separated from the whites now. We're gonna clean this up to make it a little more presentable in a minute, but for now this is fine. And then we wanna get into mixing up our stuff. Like I said before, we're gonna go with the teaspoon, and we need a tablespoon for our mayo. I don't know if I think I misspoke on the mayo. Again, everything will be down in the description properly, but the mayo you're gonna use 2 tablespoons. I might have said a teaspoon, my apologies if I did. It's gonna actually be 2 tablespoons. We're just going to start adding our items. Let's start with the mustard first. So we're going to take 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard. It's a lovely noise. Thank God there's no 8-year-olds around. I'd never hear the end of it. And then we're going to take our Dijon mustard and do 1 teaspoon of that. And then we are going to take our pickle juice. I like pickle juice. Obviously, I don't know how to open jars, but there we go. Just gotta put a little bit of that sad little muscle into it. So yeah, I like to take maybe just a teaspoon of the pickle juice. Again, if you're doing a whole recipe, you do 2 teaspoons, but that adds a nice little flavor to it. And then we have our kind of secret ingredient. I know it sounds crazy. I know y'all think I'm like getting my inspiration from Paula Deen, but if you put, now in this case, since I'm again making a half, it's gonna be half a tablespoon. But for a whole order, just put a whole tablespoon of softened butter in there, and I guarantee you, just trust me, don't question it, just trust me. It's so good, it makes all the difference. Okay, so we've got our mayo, we've got our mustards, we've got our pickle juice, we've got our butter. We're gonna take a little bit of salt, and I mean just like a little bit of pinch. You can see that going in there. And we are going to take a little bit of pepper, maybe 4 or 5 turns. If you're using this already ground out of the tin, you know, or whatever, just use like maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon there. And that's it. And then we're gonna take just a basic spoon, get this so y'all can see it here, and we're gonna mix all this together. And just kind of break these yolks up as you need to. No need to use a blender or anything fancy. And that's another thing too, this is so fast. You want to make sure you take time to let them chill. I know there are some people who like to eat them a little bit warm. It's never been me. I don't really like it that way, but I like it more this way. So we're gonna do this. Okay. And then, oh my God, the dadgum mayo. What is wrong with me today? It's like I'm just losing my mind. I'm telling you, it's one of those days. Should have probably stopped this about 5 minutes ago, but nevertheless, I thought it was a little dry. So we're gonna do 2 nice sized tablespoons of our mayo. Perfect. All right, and then we're gonna keep mixing this up. So now for sure we have our, that's looking more normal, like a good creamy yolk and mayo and mustard and salt and pepper, and it's gonna blend with that paprika and bacon. Oh, it's so good. I just don't see how people don't like these, but again, I get it. Mustard alone is a very polarizing thing, as is mayonnaise actually. I love mayonnaise, but a lot of people do not. Want to make sure you mash up any of those yolks. See this yolk trying to escape over here on this? Well, you actually probably can't because on the inside where the camera is, but we want to make sure we get all of these yolks and smash them up properly, because you don't want to get a chunk of yolk in there when you're taking a bite. All right, just check this a little bit more. Break this up, and you could even use a whisk if you want to. You know, you could use a whisk just to make it easier. But this is looking like it's pretty good mixed. Now, when you're finished mixing up your yolk mixture, you can actually just spoon these, especially if it's going to be just for you and your family, and no one's going to see it. You can actually just spoon these right into the egg white halves. But you can also use a pastry sleeve, or a pastry bag rather, if you want to make it look fancy with the piping and the edges and whatnot. But for me, I like to do sort of a combination of the two. And if you've never seen this before, it's one of the easiest things you can do. You basically just take a Ziploc bag. And actually, you know what? I'm going to show you another tip right now. Hold on a minute. If you have a container like this one, like what we use in our NutriBullet, this is the easiest way to put stuff in a Ziploc bag and not spill it. You basically put your Ziploc bag in here. I'll put it over here so you can see, like this. That way, you don't have to worry about trying to put things, especially when you have liquid soups. If you're putting soups in a bag to freeze, that's the easiest way to do it. But today we're going to do this. We're just going to put all of our yolk mixture in here like so. There we go. All right. Now, what you do is then you take your Ziploc bag, take some kitchen shears, and just cut off like a tip and go less first until you know how much you're gonna need. If that's too small, you can always go bigger. So you take this and you want to go here. Let me get this out of the way so y'all can see better. Let's move this over here. All right. You just want to start one by one, filling in. Oh, that one. Someone's gonna be lucky on that one. Put this in here. Oh. But as you'll notice, this doesn't look very fancy, so you really could just spoon and then see things like that happen. That's why we're gonna clean this up in a minute. But I should have probably made a slightly bigger hole in the bag. Telling you what, this will definitely go down as the messiest video I've made. You're gonna probably watch this and say, why in the world am I watching this guy? Because I could do better than this, drunk and in the dark. So you'll see, we do not want to take this as is to a party or even to our family members in the other room. So we're going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to take this, put this here, right? What I'm going to do next, get that out of the way, and I'm going to just clean out this excess yolk mixture. Presentation is everything. It's what separates us from the animals. That and credit. So we're going to do this here. Now all we need to do is dress these up a little bit to make them look a little nicer. And I'll tell you what, another thing too that's great about eggs. This is the only way that you can eat multiple eggs in one sitting and people, well, maybe mildly judge you. I wouldn't say they don't judge you. They probably do because it's still eating a lot of eggs. But deviled eggs is the only way you can eat whole eggs and people don't look at you like you're crazy. So basically I want to take, I think I want to do the paprika first. So let's take your paprika and you just want to put a little bit on each egg and just kind of move it along as you go. Maybe leave a couple that don't have it in case people don't like paprika. Whoever those freaks are. And then we're just going to add a little bit of bacon on top. Like so. Now, if you wanted to class it up and change things up, you could add jalapeno. You could put like a little half moon of a dill pickle. You know, just kind of get creative. Do whatever you want. But see, you guys didn't have faith in the middle, right? And I don't blame you. I wouldn't have either. When it looked like I had lost everything, when it looked like the train had really come off the tracks. But now you see that only half the train is off the tracks. Okay, so I'm going to sample one just because, I mean, for science. I mean, I have to, just to make sure they're okay, right? I mean, I can't recommend these otherwise. Have to take a taste. It's just required. It's required. I mean, how could you not like deviled eggs? They're so good. I mean, I get it. The mustard kind of definitely makes an appearance. So if you're not a mustard fan, you're not going to like these. But if you like deviled eggs, these are so good. I implore you guys to try them. But in the meantime, I certainly appreciate you checking out the video nonetheless. Please give it a like if you found this of value to you at all. And even more than that, if you feel like it, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell so that you know when I put out new videos. But in the meantime, you guys have a great week. Stay safe out there. And thanks for watching.